The confirmation mail glued on my screen. Confirm booking, I clicked. A jolt of rebellious thrill shooting through me. My parents? They'd never ever agree to a solo trip, especially not to the remote lakeside cabin I had found online. But I, at 17, was craving adventure, a real break. Just a weekend at Sarah's, I lied. My voice surprisingly steady as I packed a small bag, a messy mix of excitement and guilt swirling inside me. The bus rattled to a stop at a dusty crossroad, miles from anywhere I recognized. The cabin, when I finally stumbled upon it after a long walk down a winding, overgrown path, it was nestled deep in the woods, surrounded by ancient trees that seemed like they were watching me with their skeletal branches. A shiver, not entirely from the evening chill, ran down my spine. The air hung heavy, still, and silent. Inside the cabin was rustic, exactly as described, but a pervasive dampness clung to everything. As dusk settled, painting the sky in purple and grays, an unsettling feeling began to creep in. The silence outside was absolute, broken only by the rustling of unseen creatures in the undergrowth. I tried to shake off my unease, telling myself it was just the unfamiliar surrounding. Later that night, as I lay in bed, a faint scratching sound began. Tap, tap, tap. It seemed to come from the wall beside my head. I pulled the blanket tighter. Just mice, I told myself, though the sound was too deliberate, too rhythmic. It continued for what it felt like hours, punctuated by creaks from the floorboards above, though there was no upstairs. My heart hammered against my ribs. Then, a whisper, faint but distinct, slittered through the air. It sounded like my name, Priya. I froze. Every muscle tensed, my breath hitched in my throat. No, it couldn't be me. I had to be imagining things. The whisper came again, closer this time, chilling me to the bone. You shouldn't be here. Panic, cold and sharp, seized me. I fumbled for my phone, my fingers trembling, desperate for a signal, for a connection to the outside world I had so carelessly left behind. There was none. I was completely cut off. The scratching intensified, frantic now, like something clawing its way out from behind the wall. Those whispers grew louder, merging into a low moan that seemed to emanate from every corner of the small cabin. A sudden violent bang from the kitchen made me shriek. Something had fallen or been thrown. I scrambled out of the bed, my mind screaming for escape. I had to get out. Stumbling over my bag, I fumbled for the doorknob, my hands slick with sweat as my fingers closed around the cold metal. A loud scream ripped through the cabin, sounding impossibly close, right behind me. I did not dare to look back. I yanked the door open and burst into the darkness of woods, the terrifying sounds of the cabin echoing behind me. I ran blindly through the dense trees, branches whipping at my face, roots stripping me. I did not stop until I collapsed, breathless and sobbing, by dusty roads where the bus had dropped me off hours earlier. It was hours later when a passing car, driven by a kind elderly couple, found me in the road, shivering uncontrollably. They took me to the nearest town, where I finally managed to call my parents. The lecture I knew was coming, the grounding, the endless question. None of it mattered. All that mattered was the crushing relief of hearing their voices, the promise of safety. I never spoke of what happened in that cabin, not really. I just told my parents I got lost and scared. But in the memory of scratching, the whisper, the chilling scream remain etched in my mind, a terrifying reminder of horrors that can lurk when you venture too far, too carelessly into the unknown. I learned a bitter lesson that night. Sometimes the greatest adventure are the ones you never take, and sometimes the safest place to be is exactly where your parents want you to be.